What is going on, guys? Nathan here with a League of Legends gameplay commentary, and in this video I would like to talk about a concept that popped into my head today when I was in the shower. And I mean, it doesn't, like, it sounds weird, but it's not that weird, because people tend to have their head in the clouds whenever they're doing, like, absent-minded tasks. Most things to do in the bathroom, really, like brushing your teeth, going to the bathroom, being in the shower, etc. But I had this idea, this comparison, if you will, from League of Legends to a gambling addiction. Now, I make this comparison for two reasons, because Ranked League is very much like a gambling addiction in that your ladder points are essentially your money that you're kind of betting each time you go into a match. And this is fairly obvious, you know, like if you, that's just how League works. Like if you win a game, you gain the other player's ladder points, and if you lose, you have to give up yours to the enemy, just like any sort of casino game would work, like penny slots. Like you give a penny, and you know it's a 50-50 shot whether you're going to receive this back plus more and stuff like that. But in terms of League of Legends in general, not just really in Ranked, but even norms too, League of Legends, I've noticed, has the highest draw to like pull me into the game than I've ever experienced before, I think. And I wouldn't say I'm addicted to the game at all, because I could definitely uninstall it right now and just play something else. But the thing about League is that it has this very, very fine-tuned balance between very high highs and very low lows. And let me give an example of this to kind of clarify what I mean. In League, if you're doing well, especially in Ranked, because Ranked, you have something at stake, and if you do well in Ranked, it makes you feel even better. But in League of Legends, if you're doing well, you are, like, really fed, whether you're a damage dealer or a tank, you feel really good. Like, you can basically do whatever you want in this game. You can either melt the enemy team or just never die. Cough, cough, Dr. Mundo, cough, cough. But it's really fun to just kind of have this fuck you attitude to the enemy team, that you can just do whatever you want because you managed to outskill your opponent from the get-go, and that just feels really good. What feels even better is when you're very, very even with your opponent, and you're in those team fights where you don't know who the victor is, because maybe you're very even in like gold and kills and all that stuff, and then you'll have that very, very evenly placed team fight where like you don't know who's gonna win. One misplaced spell at the wrong time could either win or lose a team fight for you, and it's occasions when you win those type of team fights, you win those very, very even scenarios, that is when you get that super, super adrenaline rush that is so amazing. And the closest I can kind of compare that adrenaline rush to is mostly Team Fortress 2, actually, and especially when you are a spy. So like I'll just set up a scenario. Like if you're just in a normal payload public match, it's kind of the equivalent of like you are a spy approaching the enemy payload cart, and there happens to be two medics, a heavy, and a soldier just with their backs turned to you, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like I'm about to get 4 kills right now, and if I screw one thing up, I will die and I will be pissed with myself. It's a lot like that. So League has these amazing highs, and like a lot of the time when I either win a match where we were either amazingly fed or like managed to come out of a very, very even team fight, I'll close League and be like really happy, like still have that adrenaline rush from that team fight, and I just feel really good. So there's that. But then you get those games where you do everything wrong, and it's either that, or what makes me even madder during those games is when you do everything right, but there's that one teammate that can't hold his lane and just starts to snowball the enemy, that enemy laner to eventually lose that game. So it's either like you're just playing like shit, or like your team in general is just not focusing a certain enemy correctly, or something like that, that just makes you really pissed off. And not only does it make you pissed off, but it can make League seem almost like a chore, like it's just work. Like there's a point during the game where you know that the enemy team is so fed that you cannot win a team fight, and you basically know the game is over, but you still, like, you can't leave the game at that point. Like, I mean, you can, but you'll get banned for it. But, like, you just have to kind of survive for, like, 5 to 7 minutes or whatever until you surrender or until they kill your Nexus, because if it's in ranked, your teammates are probably not going to surrender, which I could totally see. I, in fact, never surrender to early surrender votes. But what I'm trying to say is that you have these really high highs and these really low lows, and at least in terms of my recent playstyle, there has been such a balance of those types of matches that I find I keep wanting to play League almost like a gambling addiction. Like, there is a 50-50 chance going into this match whether I am going to have a very awesome time or a very shitty time. And obviously, part of it is due to what kind of champion you pick and how good you are in that stuff. But it's like, ultimately, you know, there's only so much you can do on your team because you have 4 teammates that you are also trusting to not only not feed the enemy, but to get fed themselves in theory. And a lot of the time, you know, you can do your best, but at some point, you know, it kind of comes to your skills end, and like you have to trust your teammates to do their part as well. So anyway, the point is that it's almost as if each time, let's say I had this magical machine and I would insert $1 into it. It seems like each time I have a 50-50 chance whether I'm going to get $2 or it would just eat my dollar. So like, that's actually probably a bad example because that's not really related to emotion. But what I'm saying is that League has the hardest draw to like play the game that I think I've ever experienced in any video game ever, just because like ranked is so competitive. Like you have something on the line that you need to protect and or acquire the enemy's ladder points, which is what I'm talking about here. And it's just that, like, there's so many times that I've contemplated uninstalling League of Legends after like 3 really, really bad matches in a row, only to, you know, go to bed, wake up the next day, and be like, you know, I'm just gonna play League of Legends. Like, I'm feeling really good right now. I think I can do well. And then it ends like the same way, and I'm pretty much at the same ladder points that I was at when I started the day off. So that's what I'm saying. League is almost like a gambling addiction where it's kind of that same mindset of, I'm just going to keep playing, you know, maybe I can earn everything I just lost back in this single bet that I'm going to place. And it's just that sort of mindset that I think is what makes people not only play League, but also keep playing League, because it tends to have that effect. But that's just my sort of hypothesis. I'd love to hear what you guys think down in the comment section below. And you don't even, like, it's not just League of Legends that might have this. Like, Dota 2 is basically the same thing, and all Dota 2 League of Legends trolls aside, they are basically the same thing. And I'm assuming that Dota 2 will pretty much have that sort of same effect because it works in, like, the exact same way as League. But, yeah, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and I think this is where I will wrap up the video. So as always, thank you guys for listening to my thoughts, and I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did enjoy the video, then feel free to leave a rating. That is always appreciated, and feel free to subscribe if you enjoy my content, and I will see you guys later.